Jacob, mate, what are we driving today?
It's a Mazda CX-3.
A Mazda CX-3. Aromas. That's what comes from source, Jacob.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to review this, and I'll tell you why. It's a palate cleanser, right? This is actually one of the cheapest models that Mazda sells here in Australia. The only one that's cheaper is the Mazda 2, and by like $1,000. So what is the secret sauce behind the Mazda CX-3 that makes me love this thing, even when this is a real base model? Is it worth just under 28,000 Australian dollars drive away? And Jacob, where should they go for finance?
You know, it's called Driver.
It's called Driver. Use the link in the description below or in the pinned comment. Get the absolute best financing deals possible. And for every settled loan, you will also get a $150 fuel voucher, which is awesome in inflation times like today.
Just bloody do it.
Just do it. Jacob, let's get into the review. As always, let's start with the front. Now, I'm not going to say this is the most beautiful car. I find that all of these like micro SUV things to be a little bit ugly. Jacob, thoughts?
I agree.
Yeah, a little bit. But you do have these headlights here. They're completely halogen bulbs, of course, though. This is the base model, as I said, but they're bright enough. You've also got your turning signals there again, halogens. A pretty nice grille. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's Goldilocks, Jacob, perfect sizing. Mazda badge here, that's pretty damn cool. Don't know why, it just came to me like that. Also, I really like this paint, although it is a $600 option, and when you're getting the base model, just get white. Get the free option, I reckon.
Definitely. Was it 600 bucks?
Something like that.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
$595, I think.
Oh.
How dare you?
Let's check out the side. Coming to the side now, and actually, first of all, apologies for the dirtiness of the car. It was horrible weather this morning, man.
It was torrential rainfall.
It was literally torrential rainfall. But the show must go on. So you've got these steel wheels here. That's how you know that this is the base model. It's the only one that these come on. I actually don't mind it, Jacob, and let me tell you why.
Tell me.
Because if you scratch this or if someone hits it or whatever, people curb wheels all the time, you just pull off this fake little piece of plastic, you put on a new one, and no one will be any the wiser.
But you will.
But you will. They're also 16 inches, but that's good because it means that you get a bunch of rubber there too, which does help with ride quality, as you'll see. Look, black scratchy plastic because this is a mini SUV. I guess it's kind of fitting that it's dirty actually, Jacob. Kind of makes it look like it's been off-road, even though this is front-wheel drive. By the way, the whole range of the CX-3 goes up to $48,000. That is 100% more expensive than this. You can buy two of these or one of those, kind of. That's pretty funny.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So you don't actually get keyless entry, but you do get keyless go. That's kind of annoying, but base model, so you lose some things. This window here is tiny. Really, really small. So you can't see out of the window very much in the back, but we'll talk about that again. Coming to the bootay, we have some taillights here. Again, they're all halogen bulbs. No LEDs inside here, but I'm okay with that. Sky Active G, the name of the engine. We have the Mazda badge there and ooh, CX-3. Thank God it doesn't actually say the trim model of these cars anymore. So it's so unappealing. Like if you got the lower model, it was like poo, right? And if you got the high model, it was like expensive.
And the lower models always had those devil horns on the Mazda logo.
No, that was people doing that, dude. That is disgusting. If you do that, just stop. Please stop. It's kind of like the Volkswagen, what's it called? Beetle, where they've put the little eyelashes on it. Ugh, it's disgusting. Anyway, down the bottom, look, you get some more scratchy black plastics. Dual exhaust tips, anyway, and they're real.
That puts the sport in SUV.
You're good with your acronyms. I don't know, man. Otherwise, it's pretty boring. I mean, it's just an overgrown Mazda 2. That's what it is. I don't mind it. It's just not the coolest thing in the world.
It's like a bubble-butted hatchback.
It does have a bit of a bubble butt. By the way, you know what people should do right now?
Subscribe.
They should subscribe. Dancing baby, dancing baby. Let's move on to the interior. Now, moving on to the interior, what's that like? Well, obviously, because this is the base model, this is where a lot of the costs have been cut. And you can really, really tell. You've got scratchy materials everywhere. Not many people are gonna care about that, but it does help to have soft plastics. It helps to soak up a lot of road noise. The general design is pretty nice, but there are some like panel gap issues, Jacob. Like here, this isn't in properly. and so it just leaves a bit of a gap there. The infotainment display is quite rattly, and this car has done 1,800 kilometers. So yeah, definitely feels stuck on. Speaking of though, at least it has been updated to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, and it's a decent screen. You can use it as a touch screen, which is pretty good, but as soon as you are moving, that stops working. You have to use this controller down here, which works fine, but it's not the best system out there. And honestly, like, they do that for safety reasons, but I think it's safer just to be able to touch the screen. Other cool design stuff is here. You got these little circular air vents. I kind of like those, but this does feel base model. So you get a plastic steering wheel here. It actually feels okay, but I'm not a big fan of plastic steering wheels. If you can spend an extra $2,000, you can get the grade above. I think it's what, the Max Sport?
With 2 X's.
With 2 X's. That's how you know it is thick. And that comes with a leather steering wheel, amongst other things. For example, this one also has completely manual headlights and wipers, but if you get that, they become automatic. Just small quality of life things that's definitely worth.
God, we are spoiled.
We are spoiled. But trust me, they're worth the extra $2,000. The other thing as well that you get on this base model, which I don't really mind, Jacob, because it reminds me of your car, and that really makes me feel special. These manual air conditioning controls down here, they work fine, but like it is so much easier just to have auto controls. But again, one of the cheapest cars in Australia, and it's a small SUV, so you win some, you lose some. I'm kind of complaining here, but I'm kind of not. I'm really expecting this interior, and for the price, I don't mind it. And I think it looks, as I said, pretty damn decent. Up in front of you, you get a pretty cool instrument cluster. I really like it. The speedo's in the center. And then to the right of that, you also have your info screen where you can go through a bunch of different menus, which is pretty good. I like that. Other notable mentions in here, you get a couple of USB-A ports, an auxiliary port, and a 12-volt socket. You've also got a little storage area for your phone there. Here's something that's not great, Jacob.
What?
These, the cup holders. They have to be the worst cup holders ever. So they're trying to do smart packaging here because this is such a small car. So if you don't want to have cup holders, you just get these kind of 3 open spaces. If you want them, you press a button here, but it doesn't come all the way up. You have to lock it up with your hands. And if you've got your Dreamcatcher water bottle, it just pushes it down anyway. That's not holding anything. It's the same story with this one here. This one is even more elaborate, but again, it just goes away.
It's so frustrating.
It is so frustrating. And also, if you've got a drink under there, that becomes useless. If it's a tall drink,
Moral of the story, get bigger cups.
Glove box is actually pretty massive. That's a huge glove box. Door bins as well. Jacob's Dreamcatcher water bottle fits it in there perfectly. So those are all positives. Special mention though to these cloth seats. Although they don't look amazing, they don't feel amazing, they are very comfy. We spent like, what, 3 hours driving with these seats today? They've been awesome.
Yeah.
No issues at all, even though they don't have a lumbar support. So again, you win some, you lose some, you buy the base model, you know what you're getting. This is where you can tell that this is a Mazda 2. I have literally no knee room behind my seating position, and I am but 5'10". That is not that impressive. So yeah, no leg room, but you do have actually quite a lot of headroom because this is a mini SUV, and you've got quite a lot of tow room as well. It's just a shame about the leg room. Don't get any air vents back here or USB-A ports, which not awesome, or even USB-C, of course. Seats here are actually very comfortable. They're really well padded. They're also cloth. So, I mean, what else would they be? Matte pockets there. The other thing as well, you get carbon fiber. So in the front, there's just random bits of like carbon fiber look pieces. You've also got some here. And the windows, as I said, are small and they don't roll down all the way, which seems like a bit of a cop-out. Otherwise, I don't mind. I would care a lot more if it was the $48,000 Azami SE or LE.
Is that what it's called?
Something like that. But I couldn't care less here in the base model because again, I think you get what you pay for. And it's actually okay, especially if you're aware of its compromises.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the boot space. Okay, so what's the boot space like? Well, it's pretty good. On paper, it's actually really bad, because the leader edge is quite small, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Leader edge is just such a stupid metric for the boot. You do get quite a lot of room in there. I'm pretty impressed with it. You can get one big suitcase and two medium ones in there. Like, it's actually pretty decent. You've also got a false floor here where you have a bit more stuff underneath, or you can take it out completely and you can just get more space down there. So again, don't believe everything that says on the spec sheet. And also you can put down the back seats with just the press of a button, and then you get a stupid amount of room in there for, again, such a small car. So it's pretty smart packaging, but that's boring. Let's talk about the engine. So what's powering this absolute beast of a car? Or should I say mini SUV? Well, it's actually a really good story. This is the Sky Active G, which is just marketing speak for a 2-litre 4-cylinder Mazda engine, of course. It's naturally aspirated, puts out 110 kilowatt of power, 195 newton meters of torque. None of those are particularly special. Actually, Jacob, that's the same as your Lancer.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. In a base model. But it actually is really good considering that this thing weighs only 1,300 kilos. As I said, this is really just a Mazda 2 on stilts. So yeah, I really like this engine, and it gets good fuel economy. Right now I'm averaging 8.8 litres per 100 kilometers, and I've been driving it like an absolute idiot.
That's insane.
So, what everyone has been asking for is what this thing will do 0 to 100. Jacob, I'm gonna scare you to death.
Let's do it.
Okay, friend, we're about to launch the CX-3.
My favorite part of the video.
Your favorite part. What do you reckon it's gonna do 0 to 100?
9.1 seconds.
Ooh, you think this is gonna be a bit of a speed demon, do you?
Is that fast?
For one of these, I reckon it is, considering we have the front wheel drive here, not the all wheel drive,
And
because
it's
we're not
wet.
spending so much more. I reckon it's gonna do 0 to 100 in 9.9 seconds.
Okay.
I take that back, 10.2 seconds.
That seems fair as well. Let's find out.
Fist me good.
Oh, that's not a good launch. Oh.
I love that Mazda lets you slip out a bit with the traction control.
Oh, you should have stuck
I
with
should
your
have stuck with my-
original guess.
I'm an idiot. 0 to 100 in 9.79 seconds.
That's pretty good.
What did you guess?
9.1. I was a little on the optimistic side.
All right, let's drive this normally. Okay, friend, we're about to drive.
Let's do it.
I don't think you're ready for this.
I'm not.
Sport mode. Gentle acceleration until we hit the road.
I think we hadn't hit the road yet. Oh,
It's decent.
yeah.
The engine is decent in this. Do you remember, I don't know if you were in that review. You weren't, because you weren't employed by me yet. The Kia Stonic.
Yes, I do remember that car.
An
Yes.
absolute piece of shit with its 3-cylinder, 1-litre turbo
Yes.
engine.
Yes.
Awful.
No good.
This engine, as a base model, really good.
Yeah. Craps all over the stomach.
Absolutely. And it drives pretty decently well as well. You've got some relatively heavy steering.
I sense a butt coming.
No.
No butts?
No buts. This is the real test here, friend.
Okay, I'm ready.
Sport mode. Can these steel wheels hold it together?
Oh. Not bad.
We're not done yet. Oh, naturally aspirated power. I will say this engine is very loud.
Yes.
It is a loud
It's
engine.
working very hard right now.
It is working hard. Oh, and more.
I'm scared.
Oh, that's pretty decent. But let's be honest, man. No one's buying a base model for driving like an idiot, are they?
I don't think so. I mean, I might.
Okay, we're coming up to some twisties now, friend. The steering itself is pretty good. It's on a bit on the heavier side, but I kind of like that.
I do like that.
And the handling, something Mazda does really well is handling. The back just came out then.
Oh, I'm a little bit scared.
Maybe a bit less so. I'm going to take these pretty lightly. Maybe a little bit less so, less good on cars with steel wheels, right?
True.
It's got the unsprung mass disadvantage. Oh, that's quite a bit of body roll.
Yeah.
For a car based on a Mazda 2, it's got quite a bit of body roll.
That's because of that higher weight distribution. I just think this thing is a hatchback. You can't call it an SUV.
No, you really can't.
It's
call
a
it
hatchback.
SUV. It's an overgrown hatchback.
Guys, stop kidding with yourselves.
But having said that, this is probably the first time I would rather have this over, for example, a Mazda 2.
Yes.
I think it's just the look of this is just so much nicer to me than a Mazda 2. Ugh. I don't feel comfortable. Maybe I will in sport mode. It's been a wet day. It's been a horrible day. Ooh.
Okay.
It's a bit hairy.
Well, we've made it.
Tickle my pickle. We're at Saucy Corner, bro. I think it's got a decent amount of power for what it is.
Oh, jeez, it really doesn't like that.
Nah, not a fan. Oh. Look, it's a city car, man.
That was the fastest you could go around that, I reckon.
Do you know what we haven't mentioned?
What?
It's comfort.
I mean, despite the faces I've been making, I'm quite comfortable.
It's very comfortable.
It's more your driving that's making me uncomfortable.
Oh,
but the
100%.
car is kind of comforting me.
Comfort. The comfort is good. We were driving on a highway. Took us an hour and a half to get here. It was fine. It was neither, horrible nor great. It was just fine, And this is what I love. This is what I love about this car, is that it's not that much money today.
It's about the cheapest new car you can get.
It is pretty much the cheapest new car you can get.
Yeah.
Yes, you can get the MG3 or whatever, which they won't give to me.
For like, what, 18?
For like 20 now.
Yeah.
I would much rather have this.
Yeah, 100%.
If nothing
Comfort
else,
levels.
then it's a Mazda and not an MG. Frankly.
I wonder why they won't give it to you.
Yeah. Well, they won't give it to anyone. But you drive along, it's comfy.
It gets you from A to B.
It gets you from A to B, but at a good price. I would much rather have this, I think, than the $48,000 top spec. That is ridiculous.
I don't know, the Max Sport seems like a good trim to go for.
Max Sport is probably the one to go for because there are some things that I don't love. The fact that you don't get the automatic headlights, that you don't get the rain sensing wipers. There are some quality of life things that I think is worth that $2,000 upgrade.
Definitely, yeah. For $2,000, you're way better off with that.
You might as well.
Yeah.
Having said that, if you get this, you get a new car warranty and you get a car that's pretty damn good.
Seriously, and under 30 for the manual, so.
Yeah. And for the auto in this one.
Or barely.
Barely.
Yeah.
Okay, so final thoughts on the Mazda CX-3. Jacob, you first.
Cheap, but good.
Cheap but good. That's how I would describe it. In fact, the secret sauce is that this thing is a cheap car, one of Australia's cheapest, but you get a new car warranty, you get Mazda reliability, and you get pretty much all the amenities you need. No, it's not the nicest on the interior. No, it doesn't look the coolest, but it drives pretty damn great. I like it.
I like it too, friend.
But thank you guys very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, you know what to do. Like it, comment down below, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Jacob, you need more friends.
I need more friends to share videos with me.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
If you guys do need finance on your next car, definitely check out Driver using the links in the description below or the pinned comment. You will get the absolute best financing deal possible. And every set of loan gets a $150 fuel card, which is pretty awesome in today's times.
You also get a high five from Matt.
Can't promise you that one. Thank you guys very much. Ciao for now.